Welcome to today's video. If you guys are new, my name's Liz, and for today I have our March Craft Club tutorial to show you how to put your kits together, the ways that I painted them, give you a little bit of tips and tricks on how to complete your kits. So without further ado, let's jump in. For our first kit, this comes in box 1, 2, and 3 for the month of March, so all of your boxes should have included at least this kit. Boxes 2 and 3 also come with this 6x6 paper pad to use for your kits or any other projects that you might have. So for this first one, I'm just going to show you all the pieces that come with it, and then we will jump right in. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab a metallic paint pen or marker if you want, and I'm going to paint that chicken wire or draw on the chicken wire, color the chicken wire, however you want to say it, and make it a metallic silver to make it look like real metal. And then I'm going to assemble the chicken wire piece first. So I'm just taking some wood glue, super glue. I'm going to take those little rectangle pieces that come with the kit. The two smaller pieces are going to go on either side of the back of your chicken wire piece. And then the long piece is going to go either on the top or bottom. There's really not a correct top or bottom, so just put it along one of the top or bottom sides. Essentially, we are making a little pocket so that our greenery and our florals can slip right inside. So once you have it all glued together, this is what it's going to look like. Next, I'm going to start painting my other pieces. So you have your little herbs or little greenery leafy pieces. I'm going to use just a regular old green for this, and I'm going to paint both of those in that same color. Then for the petals on my tulips, I'm going to paint it in a lighter green, so the greens have a bit of contrast. For the tulip petals, I have this really pretty corally color, and I'm going to do a couple different techniques with this, or I guess not really techniques, just the way that I painted them. I'm going to paint it the coral, and then I'm going to mix in a little bit of white with it so that the petals have a little bit more dimension and they're not just one flat color. So I just use the white throughout the middle of those petals. And then for the back piece of your petals, I mixed a lot more white in with the corally color, so it was a very light pink, and I did that for all three of those tulips. And then for an extra little bit of something, I took some white and then just barely went over the top parts of those petals just to give it a little extra oomph, a little extra something. For my cutting board, I am going to take some paper from that 6x6 paper pad. If you got box number 1, you can paint this, but I wanted it to have a pretty design, so I took out 2 of the same pieces of paper that come in that 6x6 paper pad. I'm going to trace that cutting board on the back parts of the paper, and then I'm going to cut it out. Now to glue it down, you could use Mod Podge. There are so many different methods to stick your paper down to something. I'm just using a glue stick. That's just what was easiest for me. So I'm going to add my first top portion of my cutting board, and then I'll add more glue and do the bottom portion of my cutting board. Next, I'm going to add my chicken wire piece to my cutting board, again using wood glue super glue. I picked mine up from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to align this as straight as I can onto the bottom portion of that cutting board. And then I'll begin assembling my tulips. You want to make sure that you are gluing down the correct tulip top to the correct backing because each one is different. So just keep that in mind when you are gluing them down. And then all that's left is just assembling your piece. You could glue these down if you like. I chose not to, so in the future if I wanted to switch them out with something different or add different flowers or maybe even some faux flowers in there, I could. So I just assembled my pieces into my little basket. I'm going to take some twine, wrap it around my springtime tag, and then wrap it around the top of my cutting board. And that is it for this one. I think this is so cute. A piece that you can leave out all year long, especially depending on how you finish it. You can always take off the springtime tag if you want it to be a different season, or you just want it to be different than springtime. And I think this is super adorable. Now for our kit that comes in box 3, this is the Enjoy the Ride round, which I think is so much fun. Box number 3 also comes with 2 accessory items. So for this month, it was an ephemera and a chipboard in the spring theme to match that 6x6 paper pad. So I'm going to start out by painting the top half in a baby blue, and then also mixing in some white to mimic some clouds. So I am painting a sky right here. I wanted this to look like a park with a bike riding through it. So I start by just painting that blue, and then I'll take the white and add little dashes here and there, maybe make it kind of circly. And then while the paint for the blue is still wet, I'm just gonna kind of blend it all in, go over it, so the clouds look very blended into the sky. Next, I'm gonna work on the grass for the backing. So I took 2 different colors of green. I took the main grass green that I chose, and then for the darker shade of green, I'm taking a very pointed paintbrush and then drawing little V's all over just to make it look like there's little grass shoots sticking up. Just to make it, a little more interesting to the eye. And then for the Enjoy the Ride, that part is going to be my sidewalk, and I'm going to paint it a lighter gray, and then I'm also going to take a darker gray and kind of speckle it onto my sidewalk so that it mimics kind of a gravelly, sidewalks aren't all just like one color. They have little specks here and there, so that's what I was going for. For my bike, I'm also going to paint this in that corally color that we used for the first kit. I thought this was so pretty and fun for spring, so I'm going to go around, paint the bike in that corally color. For the little watering can that comes with it, I'm going to just paint that a solid gray. For the wheels of the bike, I'm going to paint that black along with the seat, and then as well for the handlebars and a couple little details here and there. So when I'm working with really small details, I like grabbing my black paint pen, and that helps me get into all the little details that I need to get into. So if you don't want to use a paintbrush, you don't have to. Using a paint pen is really quick and easy. I do that for the inner part of the wheels as well, painting them white. I just grabbed a white marker, and that saved me a ton of time along with those white flowers. And then I just made the middle that corally color as well. And then I also grabbed this pen from the Dollar Tree. It's like a wood stain type pen, and I did that for the crate on the back as well as for the crate on the front. For my flowers, I also used paint pens. Again, it's just so much easier to use pens with little details and getting into all of those lines. I feel like I have a lot more control when I use the pens. So I did a purple and a white for the flower basket. For the back part of that flower basket with all the little leaves, I painted those green. And then for our letters, again, using a white marker is just so much easier than trying to control a paintbrush, and I just went over all the letters with that marker. Now I'm going to begin assembling my bike, so you can glue the top portion of your bike onto the back portion. Just line it up where it goes right on top. Obviously, you're just gonna line the top of the wheels. I feel like that works best, in the frame of the bike, and line it up to the back. To glue on your wheels, you can put glue on the pieces that overlap. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. I added some glue for the little flowers that we painted right over the wheel portion of the frame, and then I'm going to glue the bike down to my round, and I just added that right on top of the sidewalk portion of our sign. Adding the finishing touches like the watering can and then adding all of my letters. I used a little paintbrush to add the glue to each of the letters because they are so small, and then kind of dabbed my finger on them so that you didn't have a ton of glue seeping out the sides. And then I used my chipboard for this piece. It has that fun banner cutouts, and I thought that would be really cute on the back of the sign. So I just punched out all of those little banners, set them up on the sign how I wanted them, and then just used the glue to glue it down to the back of the sign. And that's all you have to do. I think this is so fun. And then you can use your ephemera or your chipboard for whatever other projects that you have, whether it's scrapbooking or any other signs or things that you're making. I think that they're really fun to use in different projects. So this is how this one turned out. Really cute, perfect for spring. You could even leave it out for the summertime, and I just think it's super adorable. So if you guys aren't familiar with our craft club subscription, you can go to moredecalanddecor.com and sign up. You have 3 different options ranging from $30 to $56, so you can choose the box that fits your needs best, and you can craft with us every single month. I hope this was helpful in putting your kits together. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!